I remember being broke, overweight, and me and my wife just got our second child. The business I was an IBO with decided to shut its doors due to corporate wrongdoings, and this was not the first time I'd experienced being affected by a company's wrong intentional doings. I'd spent passion, all my money, and my entire heart and soul into building my online business just to see it disappear overnight. My self-image was terrible. I had no social media at the time. I thought everyone had an opinion of me. I thought that the whole world was against me, and I really felt terrible. But nothing ever happens by coincidence. I came across a YouTube video of Fraser Brooks talking about his upcoming book. It led me to another video, and I realized that for me to build any kind of business and to build me and my family's life, I first need to build up myself. These almost 2 years during the time I underwent a change so big that I turned into a completely new person. Dr. Joe Dispenza said, if you want a new outcome, you will have to break the habit of being yourself and reinvent a new self. We are a product of the deepest thoughts we have about ourselves. Essentially, our self-image describes our limitations of what we are capable of creating in our own life. In the book Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz from 1960, I dare to say that this is the Bible when it comes to understanding that I am in control, and we can only get the life that is in relation to how we see ourselves. Not the reflection in the mirror, but how we see ourselves internally. Are we worthy of reaching our dream life? He said, the self-image is the key to human personality and human behavior. Change the self-image and you change the personality and the behavior. Our self-image, strongly held, essentially determines what we become. So in his book, he speaks about a concept called cybernetic mechanism. Just like machines can be taught a cybernetic mechanism, so does our subconscious mind in regards to how it's operates. And I'll give you 2 examples of this for you to understand. Think of a thermostat in your house. You set the temperature to 20 degrees Celsius. The cybernetic mechanism will automatically recognize any inconsistency in temperature. If a window would open in the winter time, it would automatically start the heating process to bring the temperature back to 20 degrees. If someone would start the fireplace, it would recognize it and start the air conditioning system to bring the temperature back to 20 degrees. Same goes for the incredible programming of an airplane, for example. If a plane would deviate from its route, a cybernetic mechanism within the autopilot would automatically bring the plane on course again. Our subconscious mind, guys, works exactly the same, and we can only receive from life, not depending on how hard we work, but how we see ourselves. What do we expect from ourselves? Think of it this way. If you visualize yourself with $100,000 a month income, but you're feeling poor, you're feeling that $10,000 is a lot of money, your mind and heart are not in coherence. You can't think abundant but feel poor. It doesn't matter how many times you're screaming affirmations or writing down your goals on a piece of paper. You have to change your thinking. If the person that's visualizing having $100,000 a month income, now starting to working hard, having the objective in mind, he might earn some money, but the cybernetic mechanism will quickly bring him back to how he sees himself. Think about all the people we know these days who are buying a gym membership, for example. They are dedicated for a week or even a month, and some even for more than a month, but suddenly something happens. They start to get in better shape. They start to see results. They start to maybe lose some fat. And the body quickly reminds the mind of that, this is not who you are, go back to where you belong. And the few weeks of working hard resulted in nothing more than going back to where they started. I've been through this myself several times, especially when I was younger, going to the gym, quitting, going to the gym, quitting. We see ourselves and believe we are worthy based on information we have about ourselves. How we see ourselves is literally what is holding ourselves back And it's our job to recognize the thoughts of the body trying to tell us where we belong, so we can replace these thoughts of who and where we want to be. You might be a person who says, I've always been poor. I've always been a bit chubby. I've always been this or that. Well, if you keep on telling yourself these words, how do you think you can create a new you? We all hold the power to build up the best versions of ourselves in our mind without letting anyone or any thought dictates how we should see our future self. Dr. Maxwell Maltz said, your nervous system cannot tell the difference between an imagined experience and a real experience. In either case, it reacts automatically to information which you give to it from your forebrain. Your nervous system reacts appropriately to what you think and imagine to be true. We have to be able to see ourselves there and know that we perfectly deserve it if we can imagine it. Our past brought us to where we are today, but you have the chance to, at any given moment, change the outcome of your future, where you are in control of the destination and not old thought patterns where your past is keeping you trapped and you are just re-experiencing past memories that makes it impossible for you to create a new version of yourself, a new you. I really want you to study the resources provided in the resources library for this specific topic, because the future and the best version of you can only appear the moment you really see yourself there, no matter how is it possible, and starting to understand what self-image is really about.